Best CMO, pride of industry, most influencing person in photography, favorite country manager, corporate executive of the year are just few adjectives this person is known with. You guessed it right. I'm talking about Mr. Alok Bharadwaj, Senior Vice President in Canon India. Mr. Bharadwaj, welcome to the Governance Now interview. All about.
Well, these are nice ways for the industry to make me feel happy. And essentially they are highlights of some of the achievement that company has got in some fields, and I happen to be symbolic of the person receiving the award from the company side, and therefore they get attributed a lot to my achievement. But definitely these are acknowledgement of Canon's great success in India.
That's right. When was Canon established in India, sir?
It started operations from 1998.
Okay.
So now we are in the 12th year of running.
How has been the journey so far?
Very interesting. It is from a very big struggle, I have to say, to the point when we began to start putting fundamental blocks of the organization in place, to the point where our products began to become popular, to the point where processes in the organization became important, and to a point now where managing growth is the biggest problem. And I'm saying that because growth is phenomenal. So it has gone through a journey of different experiences. Each experience required a different reaction. And I'm happy to notice as I look back that our response to probably every such development has been quite satisfying.
And when we look from revenue perspective, what have been the achievements till date?
Canon's revenue is this year should be crossing 1200 crores. Last year we did about 840 crores. So that puts us on to over 40% growth level. In the beginning we were thinking we'll probably do 30% growth, which itself is a big growth. And we thought from 840 crore we should be touching about 1100 crore. But our first quarter is calendar year first quarter, January to March. Results showed us that we are probably capable of doing much more than 30% growth. So the first quarter growth was 60% top line. So we increased our estimates for the year and revised it to about 40% growth.
So recession had no impact on Canon India?
Last year there was an impact. The impact was for about a year, but that impact is very relative when you talk about impact of recession. Even at a macro level, impact of recession is disastrous for some countries. Today, as you know, in Europe, there are two countries where there is a talk of even the countries defaulting. You have got recession impact into large companies and banks, and there are banks which have collapsed. So the impact of recession is very relative in nature. To India in general as an economy, the result of the impact of the recession was rather limited. Similarly for Canon in India, the impact of the recession was a slowdown. So it was a slowdown, not a recession for us. We have been growing at over 30% till 2008. In 2009 our growth came down to 27%. So that was some impact, I would say. But this year again we are going back over 40% growth. So the last year's lost opportunity is getting more than compensated with a superb, bright future that we are now noticing.
And your corporate policy is embedded just in a single word. What is it about?
Well, growth.
Okay.
Everything on corporate, our direction or a strategy centers around growth.
Okay.
How we can grow faster than the competition, which in other words means taking up more dominating leadership. And in 6 categories out of the 10 categories that we operate in, we are already number 1. So ultimately, I think what drives us is high growth and this aspiration to be a market leader in every business that we are in.
And you have defined in a word called courtesy. I don't know I am pronouncing it right or not.
QC. QC stands for living and working together for common good. Ultimately, when you really go back deeper into what is the purpose of existence, and then you realize that profits or the growth are not the purpose of existence. They are probably means to a purpose. And the purpose of existence for companies are defined at a more higher level. And our purpose of the company or the corporation is essentially to be able to create technologies and offer propositions and things that can ease people's life in a very harmonious way, and where people can live together, work together for a common good, and where there is no difference or no impact of creed and color and nationalities, and essentially it is kind of that ultimate delight that mankind can ever draw in pursuing a good and happy life. Now that is at a very high level, as I mentioned, is our purpose. So QC stands for that.